This is how you're going to stop wasting your money on all of those keto and carnivore approved protein bars that are out there that cost so much money. This is so simple to do at home. You do not need fancy equipment. You do not need expensive products. They're convenient, they're shelf stable, but guess what? You can make it just as easily as home, and it's a whole lot cheaper. You're wasting your money, but I'm going to show you the easy way. Better macros that you can actually control and how you get better and more delicious bang for your buck the easy way that doesn't cost an arm and a leg. You can do this with a bowl. You can do this with a food processor. You do not need a lot of crazy gear to make this happen. I understand that the pre-made things that are out there, sometimes they're okay to eat. They are very convenient. They are shelf stable, but they are very expensive for the amount of nutrition that you get. And I get it because that's how companies survive when they make food products. But if you are one of the people who says, I can't afford to have those kinds of things, guess what? You don't need to afford to have those kinds of things. This is a pound of 93.7 lean ground beef on sale. I got this for like $6. Each of these little snack bars, if you will, is going to come out to be anywhere from $1 to maybe $2 to $3, depending on the size you make them and how expensive your beef and beef tallow and the things we're going to use actually are. So you can make these as clean and high end as you want, or you can use the cheapest beef that you can find and the cheapest tallow. I'm even going to show you how to use butter to make these. Make sure you get lean ground beef. This is 93.7. Going to put it in either a bowl or a food processor so we can start mixing everything together. So our beef goes in. We're going to throw in a large pinch of salt. Somewhere around a teaspoon per pound is ideal. And we're going to add a half of a teaspoon of baking soda per pound of beef. This is one of the reasons this is going to be far more delicious than those things that come in a package. Now we're just going to pulse this up into a pasty texture, or if you're using a bowl, mix it together by hand really vigorously until you get a cohesive, sticky meat mixture. We're gonna let it sit for about 20 to 30 minutes for that baking soda. What the baking soda is going to do is it's going to tenderize the proteins. It's actually going to break it down by changing the pH, and that is going to translate for you into more tender and more delicious beef when you turn it into this protein bar. So let's go ahead and get this mixed up, and then let me show you just how simple this actually is. Now, while that meat is in there processing with that baking soda, let me just tell you guys, if you want to make these shelf stable, you absolutely can. I have linked a water activity meter in the description box below. They are not cheap, but with the amount of money you're going to save on every batch of these, you will pay for that activity meter very quickly with the money that you save. They're about $500, but that's actually pretty budget friendly compared to what some of the more expensive versions of this cost. If you take your meat down to less than 0.7 on that water activity meter, these become shelf stable, and you will be able to stick them in your pantry. I'm not going to take it that far because I want it a little more tender and a little softer, which means it'll have to be refrigerated, or you can freeze them as well. But for me, that's perfectly stable enough. But if you would like to make yours like those commercial products that you buy in the package, you can absolutely get the water activity meter and do it yourself at home. Once the meat has sat and that baking soda has done its job, we can go ahead and start to cook the meat. Now, this is inspired by Pemmican. It is not straight up traditional Pemmican. So we're not actually drying the meat out that much. You can, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. But if you want to, feel free. We're going to go ahead and cook the meat. Now, you could throw this in an oven on the lowest setting. You could throw it in your dehydrator at 165, and you could just spread it out thin and walk away for 4 or 5 hours and then pick this recipe up from there. But if you want to do it the fastest and honestly easiest way possible, just throw your ground meat into a skillet and cook it. Chop it up until it's brown. Hey y'all, I want to interrupt the video for just a second. I have something brand new that I think is going to help a lot of you called the Backstage Kitchen Roadie Sessions. Do you wish you had somebody who could sit and customize a cooking plan for you so you felt confident in your kitchen? It's exactly what I am doing. I'm doing cooking, coaching, one-on-one. Send me a message and you can secure your spot for the Backstage Kitchen Roadie Sessions. We're going to go through a meal plan, the proteins you like, are there macros you're trying to hit, and I'm going to help you have confidence in the kitchen to cook amazing food. And I'm not talking complicated recipes either. I'm talking simple but delicious things you can fix for yourself and your family. Sign up because spots are limited, and I would love to work with you guys and give you the confidence to go in your kitchen and make amazing food that matches your specific goals. Backstage Kitchen Roadie Sessions with Chris Cook in Nashville live now. Let's get back to the video. Once the beef is browned, you can do this in a bowl with a mixer, or you can put it back in a food processor. You could even do this in a blender after it has been cooked. We're going to chop this meat into a really fine mixture. Now, this is where you get to decide how you want to flavor it. If you want to add taco seasoning, add taco seasoning. If you want to add garlic and chives, add garlic and chives. I will put some suggestions on the recipe card for this on my website, which is linked in the description box, but you can flavor this however you want. If you're one of those people that likes the sweet versions of things like this, add raw honey if that's something you choose to include in your diet. Add allulose, add stevia, add whatever it is you would like to flavor this. Now we're going to pulse it up and we're going to make the texture fine because it's going to help us get it dehydrated, and it's going to make it really enjoyable to eat. So this is the texture we're looking for. It's a nice fine grind. This is going to help it dehydrate faster. It's also going to make it really enjoyable to eat, and it's going to help it compress down so that they hold together. So let's get this out of the food processor. You can put this on some kind of a baking sheet and put it in your oven at the lowest temperature, or you can put it in a dehydrator at 165. We're going to dehydrate this down until it's mostly dry, but unless you're trying to make the shelf-stable version, we don't have to get it all the way dry. Put this in your oven at 170, stir it every 30 minutes or so, or in your dehydrator at 165, again, stir it every 30 minutes and get it nice and dry. And then I'll show you how we finish these because you get a lot of control over your macros when you do. The beef is about ready to come out of the dehydrator or your oven. It's been in there for about 2 hours. I've stirred it roughly every 30 minutes. In preparation for that, this is a 1/4 cup of beef tallow, and I also have about 1.5 tablespoons of butter in here. It comes out to about 1/3 cup of fat for a pound of meat. Now, if you want a higher fat macro, you can go a full 1/2 cup or even more of fat. I'm using tallow and butter both because it's going to be nice for the flavor and the texture. But if you don't want to do that, you can use pure beef tallow. You could use pure butter, although it would be a lot softer and need to stay refrigerated. I will put the macros on screen for you so you can see where this fat is going to land. And if you want to raise that fat macro, just feel free to use more. So the beef is dry. Now this is not shelf stable dry, although you can take it that far. It's going to make this compress and work really well, but it's also a little more tender to eat it that way. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to do it like this and keep it refrigerated, or if you want to go all the way to making it shelf stable. But this is nice and warm. It is dried out where I want to keep it because I'm going to refrigerate it or possibly even freeze it. So you could put this in a bowl and do this by hand. I'm just going to throw it back into my food processor. We can go ahead and mix in our melted fat so that we can then compress this into our protein bars. That's as complicated as this mixture has to be. All we need to do now is compress this so that it creates actual protein bars that hold together. A pound of meat like this, I'm going to divide into 8 muffin tray wells. You could put this in any kind of a container you want. You can make them any size that you want, but at this size, one of these is a nice little snack to keep you from going off the rails. 2 of these is almost like a micro meal if you're trying to maybe be really intentional about your macro intake. And 3 of these is actually a legitimate meal. But you can feel free to make them bigger, smaller, however you would like so that it fits the amount of food you want it to be. So I'm just going to divide this amongst 8 wells in my silicone muffin tray here. Once you have this divided up into muffin cups, use the backside of a spoon or even the flat bottom of a glass. Compress these down. And the reason we're going to do that is because when these are refrigerated, we want all of that fat to bind together to actually hold these in their shape. So just compress these really nice and tight with the back of your spoon. So there's the meat compact in our muffin tin. Watch what happens when you refrigerate them overnight. Once these are refrigerated overnight, you can easily pop them out, and you have your very own Chris Cookin' Nashville Roadie Bar, the protein-forward, unbelievably customizable, keto and carnivore approved protein bar snack. These are delicious, and you can make them however it is fits your tastes and your macros by adjusting things however you want. They'll last probably 5 to 7 days in the refrigerator, a whole lot longer in an airtight container in the freezer. Thaw them out a little bit, and you have the perfect snack. Now, dollar for dollar per gram of protein, these are significantly more budget friendly than any of the pre-made stuff that is out there. And I've tried a bunch of those, and I gotta tell you, these are a lot more delicious as well.